Marcus Aurelius once stated that you have control over your mind, not external events. Recognize this, and you will discover strength. Are you acquainted with the frustration of a mind cluttered with noise, the agony of indecision, or the paralysis by analysis that accompanies overthinking? We've all been there, replaying conversations, anticipating outcomes, and attempting to solve an endless string of what-ifs in our heads. Today we will confront this challenge head-on with 10 practical Stoic strategies to conquer overthinking. If you're seeking ways to break this cycle and reclaim your mental space, make sure to hit the notification bell and subscribe. Now let's dive in. Number 1. Visualize your overthinking as an external force. Overthinking can sneak up on you like fog rolling in on what was a clear day. It starts as a single worry or idea but quickly expands until it can knock you off your feet. It's a common struggle in today's fast-paced world, where information hits us like hail in a storm, and our minds get crowded with thoughts of what if, what next, or what could have been. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher king, once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." This brings us to our first technique, seeing overthinking as an external force. This isn't about making an enemy out of your thoughts, but recognizing that these thoughts are not the core of who you are. They are invaders of your peace. Imagine those invasive thoughts as clouds passing over a mountain. You are that mountain, majestic and immovable, standing firm as the clouds drift by. Now, how does one fend off these invaders? Stoicism teaches us to observe without engagement. Imagine placing these thoughts in a bubble and watching them float away. This mental exercise doesn't just lessen their weight, it reinforces the understanding that thoughts are transient. They can only disrupt your peace if you hold on to them and give them power. Practicing this visualization creates a mental reflex that can help you detach and let these thoughts go before they build into a storm. As you get better at distinguishing yourself from this barrage of overthinking, it becomes simpler to see that you are not just a sum of your thoughts. This distinction acts as a shield, much like earplugs in a noisy crowd. It's a deliberate, continual effort that grows stronger with everyday application. When you notice yourself beginning to overthink, stop and picture the thought as noise, unnecessary and separate from who you are. By doing this, you're not only protecting yourself against overthinking, you're also taking back your mental territory and peace one step at a time. Number 2, take control by redirecting your energy. Have you ever found yourself spiraling down a rabbit hole of what-ifs and doomsday scenarios, replaying the same worries repeatedly until you're mentally exhausted? It's akin to having multiple browser tabs open in your mind, each with a video playing at full blast, and you can't seem to hit pause. This mental multitasking is a hallmark of modern life, where the pressure to stay on top of everything can lead to a relentless cycle of overthinking. But much like a cluttered desk, a cluttered mind needs tidying up. Redirecting your mental energy isn't just about achieving mental peace. It's about regaining control and silencing the endless noise of potential futures, allowing you to appreciate the present. Seneca, another Stoic sage, eloquently expressed this wisdom when he said, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future." This sage advice serves as the cornerstone for taking control by refocusing your energy. To stop overthinking, start by grounding yourself in the now. Focus on a task, even a small one, and channel your energy into completing it. This shift in focus pulls you out of the whirlpool of future what-ifs and anchors you in the present moment. The practical application is simple yet profound. Engage in an activity that requires your full attention. It could be as straightforward as organizing your workspace, going for a brisk walk, or immersing yourself in a book. These acts demand your presence in the now, not tomorrow or yesterday. By aligning your thoughts with your actions, you're not merely distracting yourself, you're taking command of where your energy flows. Remember, Stoicism isn't about suppressing thoughts. It's about managing them by choosing where to invest your mental energy. You're practicing a form of mental discipline. The goal is not to avoid overthinking entirely. That's an unrealistic expectation. The goal is to recognize when your thoughts do not serve you and have the tools to redirect them. It's like training a muscle. The more you exercise this power of refocusing, the stronger and more resilient your mind becomes. You'll find that the once overwhelming tide of overthinking can be tamed wave by wave with deliberate action and presence. Number 3, embrace impermanence and practice letting go. Let's face it, our minds often get stuck in a loop, replaying past events or fretting over the future. This is the playground of overthinking, where thoughts become sticky, lingering longer than welcome. It's a challenge that doesn't discriminate. It affects students worried about exams, professionals stressed about presentations, or anyone trying to fall asleep while their mind races at 100 miles an hour. Amidst this mental marathon, we can find solace in the words of Epicurus, who tells us, "He who fears death will never do anything worthy of a man who is alive." Now, while this quote might seem weighty, it's really about the concept of impermanence, which is central to Stoicism. Everything changes, and this includes the thoughts that seem so persistent in our heads. When we overthink, we often cling to our thoughts as if they are permanent fixtures in our lives. Embracing impermanence means understanding that thoughts come and go. They are not eternal. This insight can be a beacon of hope when you feel ensnared by overthinking. Practically embracing impermanence means cultivating a habit of letting go. It's a kind of mental decluttering where you consciously release thoughts that don't serve you. You could do this by envisioning a river, where each thought is a leaf on the water's surface, drifting away. Alternatively, you might see them as clouds, ever-changing, reshaping, and eventually moving on. This visualization not only provides immediate relief but also instills a deeper understanding that the nature of thought is to change. Making this practice a part of your daily routine can transform your relationship with your thoughts. It's not about forcing them out, but rather allowing them to leave. Letting go isn't giving up. It's an act of courage. It means you're choosing not to let redundant thoughts rent space in your head rent-free. As you get better at this, you'll notice a newfound mental space, a quietness that was always there, just hidden beneath the noise of overthinking. Embracing impermanence isn't just a technique, it's a shift towards a more peaceful and present way of living. Number 4, establish a designated worry period. It is a common human experience to encounter concerns lingering in the recesses of our minds, persistent, akin to the hum of a refrigerator. Always present, at times barely noticeable, yet unmistakably there, these worries can seize our thoughts at any hour. This intrusion often happens when we are attempting to focus on work, savoring time with friends, or even during attempts to sleep. It's as if our mind is a stage, and these concerns are uninvited actors who refuse to depart. Consider this wisdom from the Stoic teacher Epictetus. If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. While this quote may seem divergent, it serves as a bold reminder to prioritize our peace of mind over succumbing to worry, out of fear of appearing complacent or naive. Creating a worry period is a strategic approach to grant these concerns a moment on the stage, but only during the encore, not the main act. Allocate a specific time each day, perhaps 20 minutes in the afternoon, when you are permitted to give these worries your full attention. During this designated time, delve into your worries, scrutinize them, understand their roots, and perhaps even jot them down. What are you truly worried about? How likely are these scenarios? What can you do about them? This focused session often reveals that many of our worries are like shadows, seemingly large but without much substance when confronted head-on. This process also teaches your mind that there's a time and place for worry, and it's not all day, every day. When the worry period concludes, move on. You've allocated the worries their designated time, and now it's time to put them aside by compartmentalizing. In this manner, you regain control over your day. The goal isn't to eliminate worrying completely, that's impossible. However, by containing your worries, you diminish their impact on your life. This technique is akin to tidying your mental room, placing thoughts where they belong, and relishing the tranquility of an organized space. You'll likely discover that worries lose their power when not allowed to roam free, and life becomes a bit lighter, a bit more enjoyable. Number 5, deconstruct overwhelming thoughts into manageable steps. When inundated by overthinking, it can feel like shouldering the burden of an enormous boulder. The magnitude of our worries appears commensurate with the weight of the world, and we find ourselves pinned beneath the heavy cloud of our own thoughts. This sensation is not exclusive to us. It's a shared human condition, amplified in a world demanding high performance across all life facets: work, relationships, personal growth, and social status. The pressure to excel may immobilize us with indecision and fear. As a guiding light through this overthinking fog, Marcus Aurelius once offered, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This profound insight underpins our fifth technique, transforming overwhelming thoughts into actionable steps. When your mind races with significant worries or complex problems, the trick is to break them down into smaller, manageable pieces. Ask yourself, what's the very next step I can take? Not steps far down the line, just the immediate next one. Acting on this small step might seem trivial, but it's a potent antidote to overthinking. By concentrating on one action, you redirect energy from worrying to doing. It's akin to untangling a giant knot by addressing one small tangle at a time. You aren't dismissing the complexity of your concerns. You're navigating through them purposefully and precisely. The beauty of this technique lies in its simplicity and effectiveness. Each small step builds momentum, and as you reflect, you'll notice that the boulder of worry has transformed into a pile of pebbles. You've crossed over one step at a time. This method instills patience, resilience, and trust in your ability to confront challenges directly. What once seemed insurmountable is now behind you, and your overthinking is replaced with a sense of accomplishment and clarity. Number 6. Shift your perspective to gratitude. Our minds can be deceptive, leading us into a labyrinth of overthinking about what we lack, what could go wrong, or what we have yet to achieve. This relentless loop can leave us feeling drained and discontent. Overthinking often arises from a focus on the negatives or what is yet to unfold, overshadowing the good already present in life. Seneca once said, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future." This Stoic wisdom encourages us to shift our perspective from lack to abundance, from overthinking to gratitude. It's about recognizing the value of the present moment and the many blessings we often overlook when preoccupied with worries about the future. Practicing gratitude pulls us out of the mental ruts and firmly plants us in the rich soil of the present, where life is actually happening. To make this shift, start by acknowledging 3 things you're grateful for each day. They don't have to be grand, they just need to be genuine. It could be as simple as a delicious cup of coffee, the comfort of your favorite hoodie, or a message from a friend. This straightforward practice can pivot your mind away from the overthinking cycle and towards an appreciation for the present in your life. By anchoring yourself in gratitude, you not only silence the noise of overthinking, but also enrich your daily experience. Gratitude magnifies the positive aspects of our lives and can gradually transform our inner dialogue from scarcity to abundance. Over time, this new perspective can change how you approach life's challenges, turning them into opportunities to further recognize and appreciate the inherent goodness in your world. This shift isn't just about feeling better in the moment. It's about building a foundation of contentment that can sustain you through the inevitable ups and downs life throws your way. Number 7. Embrace effort, not just outcomes. Overthinking often stems from our mind's preoccupation with the future, its outcomes, what-ifs, and relentless possibilities of failure and disappointment. This forward projection can instill fear, paralyzing us as we fixate on the potential consequences rather than the actions themselves. Living in an outcome-driven society, where the end often justifies the means, can lead us to believe that if the outcome is uncertain, the journey isn't worth undertaking. A Stoic quote by Epictetus provides a clear directive. Don't explain your philosophy, embody it. Stoicism teaches us to concentrate on our efforts and intentions rather than outcomes beyond our control. This doesn't imply avoiding setting goals or aspiring to achieve great things, but it underscores that the true value lies in the quality of our effort, the integrity of our actions, and the virtue with which we navigate our path. To apply this technique, whenever you catch yourself overthinking potential results, consciously redirect your thoughts to the effort itself. Ask yourself, are you doing your best? Are you acting with good intent? Are you staying true to your values? This approach involves being fully present in the process, putting in the work, and recognizing that your responsibility ends there. Focusing on effort can liberate us from the chains of overthinking, allowing us to be in the moment, giving our best without the heavy shadow of what could be darkening our experience. It transforms our actions from mere steps toward an outcome into expressions of our character and commitment. With this shift in focus, you discover that your path is not just a means to an end, but an embodiment of living with purpose, where each step is an accomplishment in itself. The final 3 strategies open the door to fresh perspectives, empowering you to tap into untapped strengths, foster practical resilience, and handle life's complexities with a sense of balance. Number 8. Embrace voluntary discomfort. Our minds often plunge into a whirlpool of overthinking when faced with potential discomfort or change. We play scenarios repeatedly, attempting to predict every outcome and preparing for every possible discomfort. This mental rehearsal can be draining, turning the comfort zone into a mental prison where growth is stunted and overthinking becomes the warden. Marcus Aurelius once remarked, "The art of living is more like wrestling than dancing," reflecting the Stoic practice of confronting challenges head-on rather than avoiding them. By practicing voluntary discomfort, we can train our minds to handle uncertainty and reduce overthinking. It involves small chosen actions that take us out of our comfort zones, teaching us resilience and adaptability. To integrate this into modern life, start with something small like taking a cold shower, sleeping without a pillow, or walking instead of driving. Do something that disrupts your normal routine and sit with whatever feelings arise without judgment. This isn't about punishment. It's about showing yourself that discomfort isn't as intimidating as your overthinking mind makes it out to be. Voluntary discomfort has the paradoxical effect of increasing comfort with various aspects of life. By routinely stepping into what's uncomfortable, the unfamiliar becomes familiar, and the mind learns to quieten. It becomes less reactive to change and more focused on what can be controlled, your responses. This powerful shift in perspective not only lessens overthinking, but also builds a core of inner strength unshaken by the ebbs and flows of life's circumstances. Number 9. Contemplate the transience of life. When caught in the storm of overthinking, it's often because we've zoomed in too closely on the minute details of our lives, losing sight of the bigger picture. Our thoughts become a tangle of, "What if this happens?" or "What if that doesn't work out?" causing us to lose perspective. This microscopic view can make even the smallest issues appear insurmountable, consuming our mental space and energy. Seneca once wrote, "We are not given a short life, but we make it short, and we are not ill-supplied, but wasteful of it." This poignant reminder encourages us to reflect on the fleeting nature of our existence. Each moment spent overthinking is a moment not fully lived, a slice of life not savored. Stoicism prompts us to ask whether our worries will hold any weight in the grand timeline of our lives. To counteract overthinking, regularly take a step back and consider your life in its entirety. Recognize that many things consuming your thoughts are transient and, in the long run, insignificant. When overwhelmed by thoughts, pause and remind yourself that life is fleeting. Ask if this moment of overthinking is truly worthy of the limited time you have. Contemplating the transience of life aligns your attention with the present, enriches your appreciation for the now, and diminishes the weight of future-focused anxieties. Let the ephemeral nature of life be a canvas on which you paint with the vivid colors of presence and engaged living. Number 10. Seek wisdom beyond yourself. Our minds can sometimes resemble a maze where each turn leads to more confusion and overthinking. Attempting to solve a puzzle often results in finding that the pieces keep multiplying, leaving us feeling stuck. This encapsulates the problem of overthinking in a nutshell. A cycle that starts and ends within the confines of our own thoughts, often without a clear exit. Seneca, a celebrated man for his wisdom, offered a solution. Consult your friend on everything, especially on those matters concerning yourself. His counsel may then be useful where your own self-love might impair your judgment. These simple words encapsulate a profound truth that can help navigate the stormy seas of overthinking. Stoicism teaches us that seeking insight from outside ourselves can break the cycle of rumination. It could be the fresh perspective of a friend, the impartial advice of a mentor, or the timeless wisdom found in literature. To apply this in a modern context, look for people whose opinions you trust and respect, someone from your circle or a professional with the experience to guide you. Sharing your thoughts with them can help in two ways. It provides clarity as you articulate what's in your mind, and it opens the door for objective feedback that you may have missed while overthinking. This technique does more than offer practical solutions. It reminds us that human connection is invaluable. When we share our burdens, they often become lighter. This is not a sign of weakness, but a recognition of the collective strength we have as social beings. Let the wisdom of others be the light that guides you out of the shadows of overthinking. With each conversation, you'll find the puzzle becoming easier to solve. Not because the problems are any less complex, but because you are no longer trying to solve them in isolation. Which of these methods resonated with you? Let us know your reflections in the comments. Today's insights are but stepping stones on our shared path of intellectual growth. If you value the pursuit of wisdom, please subscribe and give the video a thumbs up. Together, let us persist on this path, constantly seeking the wisdom the Stoic masters have set before us.